Hello everyone. This time we will proceed to lesson 2.2. So we will be discussing about conversion of measurements for English customary. So our objective is again to convert from one unit of measure to another, but we will only deal with English English system or US customary. So let's say, for example, you were asked by your mom to buy something from a store. So these are the things that were asked to you to buy from a store. So we have the 6 liters of water and 2,000 drops of food coloring and 3 pints of fresh milk. So, and by the time that you went to the supermarket, you were not expecting that the ones that were given to you are not available. So there's no water, which is exactly 6 liters. So what you see right now, the only available is 330 ml drinking water. And for the food coloring, it's not by drops, but by ml. And this is an example of the brand that you can see from the supermarket regarding food coloring. And lastly, the milk. So instead of pints, it's in liters. So sometimes the reason why our parents or even us, we would try to consider pints because there are times that our recipes are coming from US, and again they are using the US measurements or the US customary measurements. So pints is under US customary. So yun. So supermarket, the only available milk is in liters. So what do you do now? So would you easily go home and inform your mom that you don't see a water which is in 6 liters, not in not in drops and not in pints? Okay. So the wisest decision for that is you just have to convert. Okay? So what matters most is you can buy the same quantity. So you will just convert based from what is available. So this is the main reason why conversion is very important in real life. Because there are times that what we want is not really there. So we need to be flexible and we need to adjust to the situation. And one particular solution for that is to know how to convert. Okay. So I know this is not your first time to do conversion, but starting now, or even in other subjects like your TLE or even in your science, you will be converting units using the conversion factor. So, what are conversion factor? So, it's actually a fraction whose value is 1. So, for example, um, one thing is for sure, you know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. But 12 inches over 1 foot is just equal to 1. Okay. What is the reason that it is just a 1? Okay. Why is it that 12 inches over 1 foot is just 1? Because you might be wondering, sir, from our lesson before, 12 over 1 is just 12 divided by 1. So 12 divided by 1 is just 12. But remember, the reason why we can write it in that manner, we can just replace 1 foot because 1 foot is 12 inches, right? So 12 divided by 12 is just 1. Okay? So that's perfectly the reason why conversion factor is just equal to 1. And multiplying by a conversion factor works the same as multiplying by 1. So remember, anything multiplied to a 1 will retain its identity. So just like before, no matter what number that is, let's say 12, 12 times 1 is just 12. Or even we have, let's say, 132. No matter what number that is, as long it's multiplied by 1, you're not actually changing it at all. So we're actually using that concept when we try to convert. Okay? So this one here is actually the conversion factor that we know, because we know that 1 foot is just equal to 12 inches. But 12 inches over 1 foot is just equal to 1. So let's say, for example, we are asked to convert 3 feet, by the way, 3 feet is equal to blank inches. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and putting them as a fraction like this is just equal to 1. So you can just multiply 3 feet by 12 inches over 1 foot, because again, this is just 1. So we cancel out the feet because they're just the same. Again, feet is just the plural of the word foot. So you cancel that out, and what will be left is just inches. And that's what we want. So 3 times 12 is equal to 36 inches. So the answer is 36 inches. By this time, I hope that you were able to download already the summary of of standard or conversion factor that you will be using um, when you try to convert one unit of measurement to another. So this is again the summary of all the conversion factors that you need. So for example, the ones that we've used a while ago is 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Okay? So let's try to answer the following. So let's have example 1. Which is more, 2 yards or 70 inches? So, of course, you just choose one. So, it's up to you whether it's 2 yards or 70 inches. So, let's say we will be using 2 yards. So, what we need to do not just judge right away that 70 inches is longer compared to 2 yards. You cannot simply compare the numbers or the digit 70 and 2. Because again, there is a unit to be considered. So the only time that you can consider the number is when they have the same measurement. So that means you still have to convert. So it's either of the two, whichever you want. But in my case, I will be converting 2 yards to inches. Okay? So now, you write as your solution to get the answer, you put 2 yards in here, and you put or you multiply it with a conversion factor, which is in fraction form, by the way. But you have to figure out a connection between yards to inches in our summary of conversion factors. So looking at here, that's English because yards is English, inches is English as well. So English to English, and that's length. So our focus would be here. Okay, again, there's already label that it's for length. So your focus is on length, English to English, and it's here. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So that means 1 yard over 3 feet, or you can write it as 3 feet on top, then 1 yard below. But which one will you put below? Okay, looking at your given, it's in yards. So that means the yard should be in the denominator of your conversion factor. So 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Oops, we're converting inches pala. So 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. So 1 yard in the denominator, then 36 inches on top. So we cancel that out. Cancel out the commonality, which is the yard in here and the yard in the denominator. So we're doing the right thing. So 2 times 36 is 72 inches. So, 2 yards is equal to 72 inches. So, you can now compare which one is longer. So, 72 is longer than or greater than a 70. So, the answer is 2 yards. Okay, let's try another one. Which is more, which is more, 1,200 feet or 1/4 of a mile? So now, looking at this is still length, English to English. So perhaps you can convert 1,200 feet to miles. But it's up to you again if you want to convert the miles instead of the feet. So we put 120 feet in here, 1,200 feet multiplied by a fraction or the conversion factor. But we have to figure out how many feet do we have if we have miles. So looking at here, 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So the given is in feet, so you put the feet in the denominator. And our conversion factor is again 1,000. I will put it here so that you will not be confused. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So we put that in our denominator, 5280. And then put the 1 mile on top. We cancel out the common, which is feet in the numerator in here and feet in the denominator. So that means we will just have to simplify 1,200 over 5,280. So to save time, we will just immediately reveal what is the simplest form. So that would be 5 over 22 miles. So to compare which one is greater, because both are fractions, so we have we have 5 over 22 in here is equal to um, 1/4. So our technique before, we multiply the numerator with the denominator. So 5 times 4 is 20. Then here, 1 times 22 is 22. 22 is greater. So that means this is the longer one, 1/4. So the answer is 1/4 of a mile. Now let's continue with example 3. So we have here 1,500 pounds to be converted into tons. Now pounds and tons are not length anymore. So pounds and tons are mass or weight. So here. And pounds and tons are both in English. So we're just converting English to English. So here. So what's our we just put 1,500 pounds in here. Pounds is again LB, it's abbreviation, times a fraction, the conversion factor. But what conversion factor will we use? So we have two options here actually. It's either you use 1 pound is equal to 16 inches or 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So it's up to you, no? You just have to be wise. So in my case, I will be using the conversion factor, which is um, 1 pound is equal to 16. Wait, we don't have option pala. This is ounces. So we're talking about tons. So 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So that's our conversion factor. We put 2,000 pounds in the denominator because the given is in pounds. So the 1 ton is on top. So the LB will be cancelled out already. But we have 1,500 over 2,000 tons. So we simplify that. Both numbers ends up with zeros. So we can just cancel out the two zeros and we have 15 over 20. So you can still simplify 15 over 20 by dividing a 5. So that would be 3 fourths. 3/4 tons. Okay, that's the answer. So the answer is 3/4 tons. Or you can just say 0.75 tons. Okay, now let's continue with example 4. Convert, simplify your answer and write it as a proper fraction or as a whole or mixed number. So 80 ounces is equal to blank pounds. So we're talking here about mass again, and both are in English, so English to English. So this is ounces, this is pound. So we have the conversion factor already, which is 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So ounces, its abbreviation is OZ. Okay, so we write the given 80 ounces. Then we multiply it with our conversion factor. Okay, so the ounces should be in the denominator because the given is ounces. So put LB on top or pounds. So 1 pound. So the ounces will be cancelled out. We have 80 over 16 pounds. So we can still simplify this. Um, the simplest form of 80 over 16 is a 5. So you can divide 80 with 16. So 80 divided by 16, it's a 5. So this is 5 pounds. Okay, now, example 5 should be our last example. We are asked to convert 3 pints to gallons. So normally, pints are in ice cream. So you will notice that if you are availing a a product from US, the ice cream that we usually see in Rustans, not the Selecta because those are Filipino products. So there, so so there's a possibility that it's in liters. Okay, yung normal na Selecta ice cream na binibili natin is in 1.3 liters. Ganyan. So, pag bumili tayo ng ice cream na product coming from US, yung imported, pints yun or gallons. So, try to check so that you will see. Okay, but anyway, we're converting pints and gallons and both are English units. So, pints and gallons are what? This is not length anymore. This is not mass or weight, but it is a volume or and capacity. So that's English to English. So here. So that's how you will use the summary of conversion factors. Then you look for the conversion factor that relates pints to gallons. So pints is here. Okay. Now, if you notice, you don't see pints right away related to gallons. But you will notice that there is a pattern. If pint becomes cups, okay, or here, I'll change, okay? I'll change. Make it easier for you. So looking at this, there's a gallon in here, there's pint in here. And there is something in common between them, that's quarts. So that means our action would be from pints to quart, then from quart to gallon. So there you go. We can convert already 3 pints to gallons. So to do that in one shot, so just think of this one. So again, we copy our conversion factors that we will be using because there's a connection between pint to gallons, having two of them. So 1 quarts is equal to 2 pints. And then 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. Okay. So now copy first the given 3 pints. So we just use the abbreviation PT for pints. And then multiply. So again, multiplying, putting an X or parenthesis would just be the same. So I will be using parenthesis already, okay? Because we're about to enter algebra by next week. So parenthesis for multiplication. So still it's a fraction, so don't worry. So now we start by here because we're coming from pints going to quarts. So we put the pint in the denominator because the given is in pint, then 2 pints is equal to 1 quarts. Okay. Now, if you notice, pint will be cancelled out already. What will be left is just quarts. So quarts is now on the numerator. So if it's already in quarts, you can use the next step, which is this. The next scale factor, or not the scale factor, conversion factor. So where do we put the quarts in our next fraction? So we put it in our denominator because it's in the numerator here. Then that's 4 quarts. Sulat ko ulit, 4 quarts. And then 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. So you put it on top. So the quarts will be cancelled out because it's in the numerator, it's also in the denominator. So there you go. What is left is what? It's just the gallon. No more quarts, no more pints. So you just have to multiply the numerators because those are fractions. Numerator times numerator. So 3 times 1 times 1, that's a 3. Then denominators, denominator times denominator, 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is 3/8 gallon.